It's split stroke month here on my channel. This is the month where we're going to really dive deep and explore different ways of playing a very unique ukulele playing style known as the split stroke. In this video, this is going to serve more as an introduction and a sort of contextual video, and then in future weeks we're going to dive in and learn some brand new skills, even to me as well. So we're all going to sort of learn something new as we go along. Because this is a multi-part series, make sure you do hit the subscribe button below because you won't want to miss where this series is going. The split stroke is a very unique style of playing the ukulele. I do actually have a tutorial just here for those who want to learn how to play it in a little bit more detail, but we are going to go over it in basics, in a basic form in this clip. So, like I said, it's a very unique style of playing because it uses the high G string to great effect. Most instruments don't have a high G string, so given the ukulele's got one, it makes sense to take full advantage of it. And this is a strumming technique that also incorporates some melodic ideas, and it sounds like this. Can you hear how you're playing this C chord, but you're also getting this melody through it at the same time? That's because as we strum down, normal C chord, take our finger off and just catch the A string on the way up. The hand still finishes above the string set as per a normal up strum, but the only difference is you only catch one string. Then you want a little bounce or a flick off the top G string, and then you repeat. And that's the split stroke, really. I love the split stroke and I love using it in loads of pieces. It's a really versatile technique, but it does have its association with the early kind of jazz style of playing ukulele, and especially a very close association with players such as Billy Scott, Tessie O'Shea, and of course most notably George Formby. Formby and his contemporaries were very good ukulele players and masters of the split stroke. And of course it was the most popular type of playing style within this musical era of the 20s, 30s and 40s. However, it quickly fell out of fashion when times changed, and today George Formby is kind of almost pushed to one side by a lot of ukulele players. I have to say I don't blame them, because Formby's reputation is one of a comedian. He didn't necessarily want to be taken seriously. I mean, he had a seriously good playing technique, but he was a comedian first and foremost. And a lot of people think that that tarnishes the reputation of the ukulele today. And so, in an effort to be more serious, they kind of distance themselves from Formby, and I can absolutely see why that is. However, that has had a downside, whereby the split stroke, being so closely associated with that music to the point where it's also called the Formby style, it's kind of fallen out of fashion. And I think that's a real shame, because I love the technique. I mean, we've got a technique that is so unique to our instrument, and you can't really do it on any other stringed instrument at all. Why don't we use it more often? That just boggles my mind. We're sort of starting to see a trend moving away from the very jazz-centric and older style of the split stroke, and we are seeing the birth of a new split stroke style. Yes, it's not sort of embedded in popular ukulele tradition because it's only just starting really, and I hope that through these videos we're going to sort of really push the awareness of this emerging new style in the hope that viewers like yourselves might adapt it for your own purposes, and maybe we'll see a resurgence in this very unique and cool technique, and who knows where that's going to take us. So to understand where the split stroke is going within the ukulele world, we first of all have to understand where it's coming from. And there are three main rules really that define the traditional split stroke. The first rule is that a lot of the chords in the Formby style are played around the nut. That makes these chords easier to tap, because if we've got a C chord, just take our finger off and there you go. If you've got bar chords and things all the way up here, it's going to be very hard to achieve open notes in the traditional style, and so we typically find that players would play these open shapes and even change the tuning to play in different keys while still keeping these open shapes. The second rule is a rhythmic thing, which comes in the form of a 3 plus 3 plus 2 grouping. This is where we have our 3-note split, as we discussed earlier. That happens again. And then we have a down-up to finish. These are 2 full down and up strums. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That rhythm really defines the traditional Formby style. And finally, we've touched upon it already, but we've got this melody going on, and often the melody will be scalic and it will descend in pitch. So descend going from high to low, da 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 da. That descends. Even on other chords, G7, where we're still tapping on the string closest to the floor, da da da. And it goes down the scale. We don't have any awkward, sharp or flat chromatic notes. It's all in a nice linear order. So those are the 3 rules of the traditional style. And that's great. And like I say, I've got courses and lessons available linked in the video description discussing this older style and how to really master it. Especially my online courses, the Formby style courses, which are hours of footage helping you master these techniques. I'm not saying through this series that those techniques are a thing of the past and should be forgotten. The opposite, I think they should be celebrated and that tradition should definitely be kept alive. However, I'm also saying that we can use all of those ideas as a springboard for new ideas and new materials, and some of which I'm going to explore in the rest of this video, and then the rest of the series we'll be looking at some new ideas as well. Hi, this is the Formby Fundamentals course with me, Matthew Quilliam. I've been studying and playing the George Formby style pretty much all of my ukulele playing career, ever since I was 11 years old. Since then I've gained a deep understanding into the mechanics of how all of the Formby style works, and in the last few years I've been teaching workshops and private students about how to play the Formby style, and so I've got a lot of experience and know-how as to how to get across all of this information to you in the most fun, approachable and accessible way. This is the course for you if you've never played George Formby before, or maybe just a little bit and you're feeling a little bit lost, and by the end of the course you'll be able to play a coherent George Formby style solo. Through 2 hours of videos split up across 40 lessons and 7 modules, this is a step-by-step guide from getting you from 0 to being able to play a really great sounding George Formby solo. So head over to matthewquilliam.co.uk to begin your ukulele journey today. Let's just talk about a few of the people who are pushing the split stroke further. The composer Joan Galvez has released a composition, quite a lengthy composition, which is a programmatic work in that it tells a story, tells the story of a holiday that doesn't go quite according to plan. And as you can hear from the excerpt I just played, there is one particular moment in the story that shows a real sense of aggravation and stress. This is shown with the driving rhythms of the split stroke. Da 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 da. We got this finger tapping on the A string. But it's recontextualized in a modern way. It's not only used in sort of with weirder chords such as this one or this one, very non-jazz-like chords, but the rhythm is extended as well to be 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. Traditional Formby is 3, 1, 2, 3, another 3, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, but this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, making for a 10-8 time signature. This is of course a very unusual time signature, and it really kind of irks the listener and shows the composer's discontent with their situation, coupled with the really loud, awkward driving rhythm that is paired with these chords, and the fact that we're moving higher up the neck is a very clear and explicit indication of a progression that's being applied to this technique. The piece Spacescape for soprano ukulele and string quartet is already an example of a very modern ukulele piece, but it does harken back to some of those old ideas. Eastwood is a very successful Formby style player, in fact he's probably the best in the world, so it makes sense that his own original compositions show at least some reference or inspiration from the split stroke style, and indeed in these ascending passages we've got a very split kind of idea, the down and then the finger comes off to release a note as a sort of catch on the up there. Of course this is recontextualised not only in the ensemble but of course the types of chords and how high we climb up the fingerboard as well. We're tapping to release notes on a bar rather than the open string, and even earlier in the piece as well. We've kind of got this kind of 3 plus 3 plus 2 rhythms, but they're in a different order. You get 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So again, rhythmically and technique-wise, we've got a lot of similarities between this and a traditional split stroke technique. Christopher Davis Shannon has some videos all about using the split stroke as a waltz and other kind of Latin jazz sounds. I won't say too much here because of course you can go and watch those videos for yourself, but basically we're starting to see the use of the split stroke as an accompanying tool rather than a soloing tool. Of course previously those works we discussed, or even older Formby songs, they were for solo ukulele, but this time it's just using the split stroke as a kind of basic strumming pattern to create an pa pa kind of sound that we would sing over. Da 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 da, etc. So there we go, there's a little bit of an introduction to the split stroke. Now for the rest of this month on my channel, Split Stroke Month, we're going to be looking at ways that I've come up with to change and evolve and use the split stroke in a variety of different ways. So make sure you're subscribed to learn some brand new techniques that I myself am still exploring and still learning. So we're going to go on this journey together and try and perhaps discover what the future of the ukulele is. But before we do any of that, make sure that you are not only subscribed, but also you know how to play the traditional split stroke so that you can then change it once you've learnt the basics. So make sure you do that in this video right here, right now. I'll see you over there.